If you're an independent professional, you know the feeling, right? That hamster wheel where you're constantly chasing new leads just to end up in the exact same place. Well, today, we are going to build a super simple but really powerful system to get you off that wheel for good. You know, this quote just absolutely nails it. The real difference maker, it's not your marketing budget, it's not how much you charge, it's whether or not you have a system. We're talking about a reliable way to track every single person you interact with and a process to stay in touch. That right there is the foundation for real, lasting growth, and it's exactly what we're going to build today. So here's the game plan. First, we're going to get real about that hamster wheel problem. Then we'll pick out the perfect, totally friction-free tool. After that, I'll lay out the exact blueprint for your database, show you step-by-step how to bring it to life, and then, for the grand finale, we'll give it a serious upgrade with a little help from AI. Okay, so first up, let's talk about the growth system, or for a lot of us, the lack of one. We need to really understand what that hamster wheel feels like, and more importantly, why it's so darn hard to get off of it. Sound familiar? You are running as hard as you can all year long, but when you look up, your business hasn't actually moved forward. Every time you need a new client, you're starting from square one. And why is that? It's because without a system, you're just letting all the value from your past relationships, all those conversations, just disappear into thin air. So how do you break that cycle? Well, it's not by working harder. It's by building a memory for your business, a simple system to track your contacts, and a real process to follow up. That is your escape route. This is where your effort finally starts to compound, and that leads to real, steady, sustainable growth. Okay, so we know we need a system. The big question is, what tools should we use? Now, your mind might jump to some complicated, expensive software, but the answer is actually so much simpler. Let's talk about finding your perfect friction-free tool. So on one side, you've got these big, complex CRM platforms. They're expensive, they're a pain to set up, and they're just overloaded with features you'll probably never touch. And on the other side, good old Google Sheets. It's free, you already know how to use it, and there's basically zero friction to get started. And that last point, that's everything, because friction is the #1 killer of new habits. And that brings us to this key idea. A fancy tool that you never open is completely worthless. But a simple spreadsheet that you open every single day, that becomes the most effective business tool you could possibly have. The real power is in the consistency, not the complexity. All right, we've picked our tool, Google Sheets it is. Now comes the fun part. Let's actually design the blueprint. We're going to architect the exact system we need right inside that simple spreadsheet. Now, instead of just making a random list of columns, let's flip this on its head. Let's start with the questions we need answers to. Every single column has to earn its spot. Think about it. Where is this lead in my sales process? Which of my marketing channels are actually working? What is my very next action with this person? When you build it this way, it stops being a data graveyard and becomes a living, breathing dashboard for your business. So, with that in mind, here's a great starting set of columns. You've got your basics, of course, like name and how to contact them, but then you get into the strategic stuff. Stage tells you where they are in your pipeline. Source channel shows you what marketing is actually bringing in leads. And my personal favorite, personal notes. That is where the magic happens. It's where you capture the little details that build real human relationships. Okay, we've got the blueprint. We know what it's supposed to look like. Now we have to bring this thing to life. Because let's be honest, an empty spreadsheet is useless. We need to turn it into a living, breathing asset for your business. And I promise this is not nearly as scary as it sounds. Here's your dead simple 4-step plan. 1. Create the sheet. 2. Add those headers we just talked about. 3. And this is the most important part. Add 10 to 15 recent contacts imperfectly. Don't overthink it. Don't try to find every detail. Just get them in there. And from that point on, it's all about committing to that last step. Meaningful interaction to update per day. That's the habit that transforms your business. This is it. This is the whole secret sauce right here. 1. Just 1 update a day. After you have a call, a meeting, or a significant email exchange, you take 2 minutes, that's it, and you update that person's record. A 1-sentence summary and the date for your next follow-up. This tiny, tiny habit is what will compound and completely transform your business over time. I want you to read this and really let it sink in. This is your permission slip to be messy. Perfectionism is the enemy here. Getting some incomplete, imperfect data into your system is infinitely more valuable than having perfect, detailed data trapped inside your head where you can't use it. Okay, so you've built the system, you're starting to build the habit. Now, let's give you a superpower. Let's talk about bringing in some AI to act as your own personal assistant and make this whole process even easier. Ugh, we have all been here. You have a great conversation with a potential client, they seem super excited, and then crickets. Radio silence. That awkwardness of trying to figure out what to say next often leads to us saying nothing at all, and a great opportunity just fizzles out. Well, this is a perfect job for an AI assistant like Claude. You can literally just give it the context from your CRM. Hey, draft a friendly, no-pressure follow-up email for a potential client named Jane, who went silent after we had a really positive first call about my web design services. It just completely removes the writer's block and all that emotional friction. And look, this isn't just a one-trick pony. Think about all the annoying, high-friction tasks AI can help with. Drafting all those follow-ups, sure, but also helping you prepare for calls by suggesting good questions to ask. And, as we're about to see, even helping you chase down late payments. This chart shows a really painful but common reality. You deliver 100% of the value, but because systems are messy, maybe you only get around to sending 75% of the invoices, and then follow-up is awkward, so you only end up collecting on 60% of the work you did. A simple system, powered by AI for those uncomfortable payment reminders, make sure you actually get paid for the work you do. So let's be perfectly clear about what we've built here. This isn't just a spreadsheet. We have built a living system. It's not some dusty archive of past conversations. It's a forward-looking tool that actively tells you what to do next to grow your business. And this is why we do it. This is the after picture. A business that just feels less chaotic and stressful, where you have genuinely stronger relationships with clients because you remember the little things that matter, and where your revenue becomes more predictable because you are systematically capturing opportunities instead of just hoping they don't slip through the cracks. So let's end on this thought. Your business growth isn't random. It isn't luck. It is a direct result of the systems you choose to build. You now have the complete blueprint. So the only question left is, what system will you build today?